Oh God, chastity vow.
This very sad matter is an internal pastoral matter. It is a spiritual matter.
Wow. Welcome and thanks for joining us for the second half of the Factor Uncensored. Very emotional there. That was
Don't
Fort
the Pope
Worth
said he
Bishop
think
Michael
he should
Olson.
change it?
He is in the midst of a dispute between nuns associated with the Fort Worth Diocese, after accusing Mother Superior Teresa Agnes Gerlach of having a romance with a retired priest over the phone. According to Olson, Gerlach confessed to the relationship, which involves sexting and also breaks a vow of chastity. The Vatican has since expelled.
Are they giving their interpretation on what the Bible says about internet relationships over the phone? I thought they were saying they were meeting and flinging over the phone.
The nuns living at the convent associated with Gerlach. The group, in turn, has claimed Bishop Olson of trying to take over their property in Arlington, worth $3.8 million. A lot going on here. Joining us to talk about it is sex therapist and psychotherapist Dr. Angela Jones and Eduardo Lopez de Casa of SNAP Houston. And of course, they monitor churches and those who are involved in taking advantage and sex scandals. So, Eduardo, first of all, your thoughts about this, because you guys have been on top of the Catholic Church for years about sex scandals. So your thought, are you surprised by this? I am
No.
surprised because you never hear about the nuns. Now we're hearing, maybe you heard.
I'm not surprised at all. Of course, we have in SNAP leadership, we have a person who handles a lot of nun abuse and stories that go on with nuns nationally with SNAP. So that's something
It's even about the same topic.
we've dealt with for a very long time. The thing that surprises me the most is that the arrogance of the Vatican when it comes to the United States, that they can come and take this monastery of the Most Holy Trinity in Arlington, which is in our state, part of our territory, and just say, we are declaring this extinct. I mean, it shows such arrogance. And then to take these nuns and to, expel them. And then it just shows the difference between how the Vatican itself treats men and women. The men, as you know, they get accused of aggressions and they get hidden, they get changed from diocese to diocese.
Move them around.
With these nuns, it's like, you're out of here. You're just out of here. And these weren't even nuns that abused someone.
Right.
These were nuns.
And it wasn't, according to this, it wasn't physical.
No, it wasn't physical, but look
With that,
at the way they've been treated. Look at the way the Vatican has treated this monastery here in Texas. I'm sorry, but the Vatican has no authority to just say to something here in Texas, you are extinct.
Do you think it could be also, as the nuns say, a play for money? Because the land that they're on is worth over $3 million.
Yes, of course. And we know that right now the Catholic Church is very desperate for funds because of all of the lawsuits that come out on sexual abuse.
And this would save face.
This would, well, a little faith, just a little bit.
also, if they need the money, they just can't say, "Hey, we need the money." This church, but if they say there's a scandal, let's get rid of it. It's no longer here, and they could just sell it and get along with it. And the nuns are not nuns, and then they could get that 3.8 million.
Because, $4 billion is really not a lot with all of the lawsuits because they are into billions. That's why dioceses all over the United States are declaring bankruptcy here so that they don't have to pay the victims so much.
$4 billion don't sound like a lot for a church, not the Catholic Church with the Pope and all his security and everything else. The Vatican.
And that is also a shame because what the Vatican is doing with these cases, instead of handling it through the Vatican, they're like, no, let's run this through the U.S. bankruptcy court so that the U.S. people pay for these bankruptcies. The Vatican has just shown such arrogance that it's just a shame.
All right. Dr. Jones, we brought you here to tackle the question when it comes to the Catholic Church and priests and nuns being celibate, chastity, not having sex, is that antiquated?
The way I would see it, I'm not Catholic. It's about
And we asked this question because they wouldn't be caught in this controversy. And we're not talking about physical sex according to
She's not a
Scripture.
Catholic,
Right.
then
We're
you got to
talking
go with
about-
the Bible, sir.
You know, the thing is when nuns and priests take a certain oath to chastity and not having these type of relationships and certain rules, they commit to poverty. The thing is, it's that they know that it's going to be difficult. They know they're going to have challenges in trying not to have the desire to have sexual urges. It's not about the urge or the desire. It's about, I guess, the act. And this is not me defending the church. I'm just saying just facts. It's about the act. Now, the way they handle this, I'm with him. I feel like if you're talking about God, that is about forgiveness.
Yeah.
Where how did that come in?
So we probably all going to agree on that. It's really old. I've heard some priests speak about it. Like, come on, like, you don't need to not have a family in order to give your all. It's so middle ages and like dark ages type stuff. You got to be out there and in the tower ringing the bell. Like, it's past that. And this was over the phone. This is crazy. I'm leaning towards the money thing too. Come on. The men get egregious stuff they get cast upon them and they just hide them like he said. So yeah, I agree with them. This whole thing is weirdly done. But if you listen long enough, I guess you get their point. And they're right. But isiah-factor, I gotta look up him more. But let me know what y'all think about this, Cave Dwellers. Let me know.